Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Winter Haven, Florida. A car thief returned the ashes of his victim's mother that the victim had kept in his car. Police are still looking for the thief and the car. The car was a limited edition Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye Jailbreak. Definitely not a Jew.
Yeah, that Hellcat's got over 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, Hellcat's the only one I've seen get away from the cops consistently.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Big fan of police chases.
I love a police chase.
Don't we all?
You see one the other day where the SUV got off and hit the pylon on the overpass and the person died?
Ooh, missed it.
You said you're a fan of police chases.
I didn't say I was a connoisseur.
Oh, wait.
I'm more a casual.
I don't know why, and I don't know how X works or Twitter works, but every time I turned on Twitter the other day, it was a gray SUV running from the cops, dropped a couple of wheels in the dirt. As a guy who races cars, I know what it's like to drop a couple of wheels in the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
It's when you get a little bit off the racing line.
I played Mario Kart.
You will drop wheels, and when you drop it onto the dirt, it's now it's tough. Well, I'll show it to you then if you love it. But the person bought the farm.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, they were going
Ford gray Honda CRV.
real fast.
It looked like a last-second decision there to get off of the freeway, and this is an incredibly dangerous situation.
Drop.
Is advised. Of course, they
It's a wrap.
roll over, and you can see the dust
wasted.
into this underneath that overpass.
The speedometer had him clocked at 115.
Yeah,
at
I'd
the time
advise
of crashing.
against this.
115 miles per
Fun to
hour.
watch,
Amounts
not
of
fun to
speed
participate
at high
in.
rate.
Yes, dangerous amounts of speed. This guy really is a wordsmith. That car thing, it was going too faster for the speed that it was on. And then the guy our inside person then had their heart stop.
Man.
Because he made the boo-boo with the car wheel.
I have the uncanny ability to bum this whole show out every time. Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed it. You're a connoisseur. I thought you would have seen it.
I've told you I'm a casual fan at best. We got some news.
You got out of the gate saying you loved high-speed pursuits.
I do love them, but I'm not on X all day. I need to get back on my X again.
All right, news, sorry.
News. Woke Doc refused to publish a $10 million trans kid study that showed puberty blockers did not help mental health.
Yeah, well, or hurt mental health, I guess. Or didn't help. All right, so look, here's the deal. These guys get a lot of funding from a lot of places, and if they get out and they get out of their lane and they start talking about truthful things like where COVID may have come from a lab, or ivermectin may be effective, or hydroxychloroquine may be effective, or maybe this whole trans movement is hurting kids, then they get into trouble, and then they don't get more money.
Yeah.
So now we have doctors lying, essentially, and then everyone yells at me, why won't you listen to the experts?
Yeah.
I do not trust the experts who are getting paid by people who want them. You know who are experts? The people, R.J. Reynolds and Big Tobacco, the scientists they hired to tell you cigarettes weren't bad for you. Those were experts. They all had degrees.
Yeah.
They all had degrees, but somebody paid them to come up with an expert opinion. And I'm supposed to treat the expert, and my answer is, who's expert? Because Big Tobacco has lots of experts that they pay lots of money to, but they're still lying.
There's no such thing as an unbiased opinion, and wherever the money comes from, it seems like
Mark Garagos, the attorney, hires tons of experts. You know what they do? He pays them
to say,
and they say shit that he wants them to say.
Yeah.
That's how his experts work. And then the other side has experts, and they say shit that they're paid to say as experts.
Yeah, the crux of the study is that after 2 years, the kids didn't have any improvement in their state of mental health.
Well, this thing, first off, these people always have these great adages, and they're great. They work. Like they go, in terms of your son wants to transition into your daughter, right? And then so what they do is they go, would you rather have a living daughter or a dead son? And everyone goes, oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, true. Right. Because if he keeps his cock, he's going to kill himself. Right? Yeah. I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
You steal my cock. That's when I start thinking about suicide.
Have you ever had a trans person in here and talked to him?
I'm saying, you steal my cock. I go right over the fucking bridge like I was in boy band,
or 150 miles an hour.
I get in my Honda Odyssey and I evade the law.
Yeah,
and I go faster than those tires are rated for, and then I hang 2 of them on the dirt, and then that's where I go. If you steal my cock,
to a pylon.
The thing about the trans people, I've had this a million times. Okay, I did Loveline.
I know, yeah,
very popular show. You had transvestites, you had cross-dressers, and then you had post-op transvestites,
varying degrees,
and pre-op transvestites, right? So you were allowed to go, I'm transsexual, and then you'd go, are you just a cross-dresser, or did you get the surgery?
Level of commitment.
Right, and then now everyone looks at me and goes, what are you talking about? And I go, I'm asking where the person's at, and they go, you're not allowed to ask that. They said they're a woman. They're a woman. And I'm like, well, look, if he's got a cock and balls, I don't want him going in the locker room with my daughter after volleyball practice. He's a woman.
I understand.
I understand, but we need definitions. It's not rude to ask what it is if we're at a cocktail party, but if you're interviewing the person, it's nice to know where the person's at. And then I will tell you my policy, which is if you cut your dingling off, then maybe you can go into the locker room. But if you still got it, then no. So, pardon me, that's why. But we had pre-op, post-op, cross-dresser, and transvestite.
It was a simpler time.
Now it's just, listen, the guy looks like Grizzly Adams, says he's a woman, so back off. Well, pardon me.
Overcompensating a bit.
Jesus Christ. This isn't good for kids. It's fucking harmful. And I don't know why it became such a taboo just to raise your hand and go, I don't know if I want my 13-year-old son taking hormones.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a good life for him down the road.
I think you're with the majority of America, but the problem is that when you are that person, the 13-year-old that wants to be a opposite gender, then I don't know. You imagine.
Well, how does this, as Bill Maher says, and Emmy, I think I liked a Rosie O'Donnell sit-down interview that somebody tweeted me today where she was just explaining about her son or her daughter. Her daughter became a woman, or I don't know what the fuck, change her name. Like whatever this thing about how we had to respect all of it. Look, as Bill Maher says, how come this only happens on the coast? Where is this? Why is it happening in Nebraska? Why is it all L.A. and New York?
I know somebody in Missouri.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Well, when did you graduate the Groundlings, bro?
Exactly.
Yes, and you know someone in Missouri who transitioned?
Yes.
Well, sorry. Not to say it doesn't happen anywhere. It's that the overwhelming majority of it is happening in like affluent blue states.
Well, I think it's because all those people who are on the fringe, like of sexuality, a different sexuality, kind of push out to the coasts. Like everybody moves to where the gay town is.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about 13-year-old kids.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
We got the Rosie clip.
Oh,
I don't know if this is recent. I just saw it, but she's explaining how to parent.
Right.
Her original name was Dakota, and then about a little bit over a year ago, she said, I'd like to change my name. And I said, no kidding, why? And she said, well, I feel as though Dakota is too much of a feminine name and it has a gender identity. First of all, I'm like, how did you talk like this? Like, I'm a lesbian icon. She teaches me things every day that I had no idea about.
I learned nothing
and
from
she
my
said,
kids.
I want a name that is gender neutral. I said, well, what kind of a name? She said, I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking of Clay. The hardest thing to do was not call her baby girl.
Yeah.
Because that was my common way of, morning, baby girl, right? I would always say that. And she said to me about a year and a half ago, I don't like that.
Okay.
I'm not a girl and I'm not a boy. I said, okay.
I'm a shit show.
I understand. What she wants and every kid wants is to be heard and seen. And when your child tells you who they are, believe them.
All right. She's a fucking horrible parent. The kid's going to be a fucking shit show.
Well, but see,
I got to take care of your kids. You don't have to see them and hear them. You have to provide for them and not.
But if they want to be a they,
hate them.
Like, how can you stop that?
I don't know. You don't have to respect it. You can explain to that. Look, I don't think it's that much different than saying I'd like to get a tattoo when I'm 13. I would just go, I think you're going to regret this. And as your parent, I'm not going to let you do it until you're of age or what have you. You can't just sit and let them run free. I don't know how much of it is actual gender dysphoria or how much of it is just fucking going with the trends. It can't all. You're going to find it's not going to be. There's no way this much of it's legitimate. Most of these people regret this decision, and as a parent, part of your job is to intervene when they're going to do shit they're going to regret.
Yeah.
I mean, I put on hormone blockers and cutting off their breasts and stuff like that at 14 or 13 or whatever. That makes you a shit parent. Now, what I might do is I might say, and by the way, Dakota was too feminine. She wanted a gender neutral name. She went with Clay, like Clay Matthews, the linebacker.
Clay Aiken?
Clay Aiken, getting closer. Is there any chick named Clay?
No.
Well, that's not gender neutral. Like if somebody said, we're going to meet my friend Clay for when we go out for brunch. I wouldn't go, is Clay a guy or a girl? If you said Terry, I might say that. Clay is just a dude.
Yeah. But it's also like mud.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very good point. I was a ceramics major in high school, so I know what you're talking about. My point is, I would say to my kid, look, before we buy a whole new wardrobe or get you on gender blocking whatever, before I start pumping you with hormones or pills or shopping surgeons to see if I can get parts removed that you may want later, I will go with you and your mom or whomever, and I will sit in a therapist's office. We'll pick a therapist, and we will sit there and we will have this dialogue for a period of time to see if we can figure out where we're at with this. But no, you're not. I'm not immediately going to start calling you Clay.
See, but I've met enough people who are in that situation to realize there's something there. Like they commit to the bit.
Oh, they commit to the bit just like they thought they were going to be the next Michael Jackson when they were 13, so they started dressing that way and learning the moonwalk. But get hold of them when they're 28 and see where they're at. That's what I'm saying.
Good point.
All right. Anyway, look. This, there's a lot of bearing of information now that I don't like from the scientific community.
Oh, you mean just like this story?
Yeah, they do a study. They don't like the study. They don't like the outcome of the study, and so they don't bring it up. I don't like that. All right, sorry. Next story.
Next story, maybe another sad one. Denny's to close 150 restaurant locations. Yeah, the Denny's brand included 1,525 restaurants as of late September.
What do you think that is?
That's at least 4 million scrams. I mean, Grand Slam breakfast is gone.
How many Grand Slams have you had in your life?
At least 7.
They used to do $1.99.
Man.
Grand Slam. And I would do 3. When I was playing football.
Yeah,
I was so fucking hungry all the time. There was a Denny's up on Ventura Boulevard. I'd go 3 Grand Slams, which I think would be 6 eggs, 6 pancakes, and 3 hash browns or whatever it was. There also used to be a place called Sambo's. Yeah.
Sambo's.
You're making that
sounds
face.
like that's like man food to the core right there.
You know, there were Sambo's. Oh, yeah. Which ended up having a fold because it became a little derogatory. But there was Sambo's.
What's Sambo a slur for?
I think it's black. I think black. Is Sambo's black?
Sambo in my life is kind of a jiu-jitsu,
or
Russian
Indian.
jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, it's a black thing. You cannot.
I learn something new every day on this show.
Yeah, yeah. They had to change their name to Jigaboos. So they used to be a Sambo's. Now Sambo, you know what you should hope for, because you can find the story, Joe, of Sambo's. It's a fable. It's like a children's story about a little Indian kid and his tiger or something like that. Something like that.
All right.
That's what the story is. At some point, some redneck used it on a black dude, and then it caught on. Oh. And now it's derogatory. But the person that opened the diner chain was like, no, it's a cute kid's story. That's
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Yeah. It's the Russian martial art, Sambo.
The story started pretty black. It's the story of Little Black Sambo is the name of the book.
Oh, but the kid is Indian, right? He's got a tiger.
Yeah, I think they had
he's
a
got
cartoon.
a turban and stuff, right?
He lives with his father and mother.
Oh, his dad's there?
Named Black.
Okay, he's not. Come on. His dad's right there.
Named Black Jumbo and Black Mumbo, respectively.
Ooh, Black Jumbo.
So these are South Indians.
By the way, when you find out that the love of your life did one porn movie.
Yeah.
Just one. And you want to know the name of the guy she worked with. You don't want it to be Black Jumbo. Black Jumbo's not going to be a satisfying answer for you.
Like and subscribe.
So Sambo, oh God, let's see. It's a story, but is he supposed to be Indian? I mean, he's got a turban and a tiger.
South Indian.
That's what I'm saying.
South Indian.
Yeah. I
Remember
dated
that.
two different
That's not
Indian
black,
girls.
though,
No,
right?
Definitely
Okay.
not black.
Well, but the Black Jumbo dad and mom is what got it. The derogatory stuff, right?
Well, are we looking up the etymology of the derogatory? Guys, get on.
We'll show you a picture of one of the covers, and you can tell me what you think of this.
Sambo's, the restaurant, cleaned it up a little with the tiger and the turban and the pancakes and everything. Oh.
What?
So Indian, but just real dark Indian, I guess. But somehow it made it from Indian to blacks. And that's...
Oh, what?
That's...
All right.
Yeah. It's a pretty black cover.
Jet midnight black.
Oh, also, India has a whole thing with light skin and skin lightening and race, and they sell tons of creams so people can lighten their skin and everything.
System.
Yeah. You know what else this happened to? About the same time?
Yeah.
What year did the Sambos go under? Because about the same time, Sambos was getting hit. You know who else took a big hit?
Who's that?
AIDS dietary chocolate brand.
Oh, I remember. Yep. I know about that.
There was a very popular way to eat yourself thin by eating chocolate.
Yeah.
And it was called AIDS.
That's terrible.
And when AIDS first came out, it was called grits.
How long do you hang on? Like if you're the purveyor of the AIDS chocolatier empire, okay, and you're doing $2 million a week on chocolate bars, right? And then suddenly they change the name of this gay cancer to AIDS. How long before you shift? Do you polish the brass on the Titanic, or do you just give up immediately?
I'm trying to think, because GRIDS was literally gay-related intestinal disorder or something. It was an acronym for gay.
Yeah.
And that's who was getting AIDS.
Yeah, I
So
read,
it was
I
just
read
called-
the Freddie Mercury.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
So it was just called Grids. And it lived as Grids for like a couple of years, and then it became AIDS.
Yes.
But then the AIDS chocolate company went out of business because not only that, the only thing better than AIDS chocolate for losing weight is actually getting AIDS. Like, they were actually in the same, they were competition.
Yes.
They were competing with them. The original owner's grandson, restaurateur Chad Stevens, owns the only remaining restaurant in Santa Barbara, which continues to do business under Sambo's name, or continued to do business until 2020. In late 2020, George Floyd protests against racism in the United States began in cities across the United States, including Santa Barbara. A petition drive to ask the owner to change the name. All right, so they're doing the Lord's work. But
How did I miss it? My whole life of racism, and never once did I know that was a racist term. Just it went away.
I don't know.
in
Like,
the
you're from
80s then.
Florida. Ask your dad. I swear to God, is your dad alive?
Yes, yeah.
Very
alive.
Can
Yeah,
you text him?
Yeah.
Text him right now.
Yeah.
I'll bet that good old boy knows about this. He didn't pass it along. He didn't do a good job as a son. It's often used in Spanish, too. Sambos?
Meaning a derogatory term in Spanish for black people.
Oh, really?
In Spanish. Huh. Can we get a translation?
Emmy, you didn't know that?
Not in my type of Spanish.
Don't play stupid. You know what I'm talking about. Text your dad.
All right. And then say what to him? Oh, ask him.
If he knows that Sambo's a derogatory, does he know what the word derogatory means?
He definitely does. He's well read. He's well read.
All right. Sorry. Not a judgment.
What?
I'm just asking questions. Ask him if he knows that Sambo's a derogatory term for black or African American or something. We'll see what he says. Okay. So, anyway, AIDS and Sambo's both went the way that the dodo, even the dodo went the way the dodo, the saying went the way the dodo. God, that's got to suck. You got the very last one. You're in Santa Barbara, a bunch of nice surfer white people around, no problemo. And then all of a sudden, George Floyd kicks in, and I got this angry mob of guys in flip-flops and board shorts around your fucking last Sambos. Yeah.
I've eaten at that Sambo's in Santa Barbara. Good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, delicious pancakes.
It's diner food, right? I mean, it's Denny's. It's like what is it? IHOP,
It's
Denny's,
IHOP for black
Sambo's.
guys.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah, a little nicer than an IHOP and a Denny's, I would say, besides the racist name.
It's out of the way. I don't live, around Santa Barbara, but I like to support the cause, so I'll take the drive. I'll make the drive out there.
I'm getting a long text ... back. So it's like I think he's writing a rant for you.
Oh, your dad knows something.
He might know. It looks like yes, it was slang for black folks a long time
I
ago.
told you your dad would know. What did I tell you? Who knows your dad better than me?
You know him.
This should be
apparently.
embarrassing for you. I knew your dad would know Sambo.
We're from Tennessee, by the way, not Florida.
Oh, I just put you there because it sounds better.
You're right.
Didn't you say something about growing up in Florida?
No, I was teaching seminars in Florida for a while, but yeah.
Oh, okay. And nothing with your dad in Florida. All right, Tennessee. That's good enough. That'll work.
Country road.
All right, so he's well aware of the Sambo. Emmy, you know the Sambo? No. Joe, you know the Sambo? No. All right. Well, maybe it's an age. Maybe it's an age thing. Mm-hmm. All right, what's the next news story?
Next news story is airport introduces time limit on hugs. Catch flights, not feelings. Yeah, the Duendam Airport in New Zealand has sparked debate around the world with this new sign imposing a 3-minute limit on hugs in its drop-off zone for fonder farewells.
3 minutes is
It's a long time.
It's a round with Mike Tyson in the 90s. You know what I mean? That's a long. I'll come before we get to the 3-minute mark. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. Some commenters on the Facebook post went viral, outraged at a curfew on cuddles, while others marvel at an airport still having free drop-off area at all, given the general rise
You
in
go to
fees and
LAX and you stay for longer than it takes to run out the back and pop out your suitcase. That guy will fire a warning shot and yell at you to move the fuck on. There's no 3 minutes. That 3 minutes is a Beatles song. We just stand there and just. And also, fuck you. There's people pulling in. Let's get going. Don't spare the horses.
Makes no sense.
I don't like the meandering, especially when you're log jamming. You know what I mean? Get your fucking bags, keep the engine running, get the fuck out of the SUV, and hit the bricks.
I'm guessing New Zealand has a much more like casual airport, though. That's why they did this, and people are just kicking back. And I don't know what they do out there other than Manuka honey.
I rarely say this because I don't like saying stressful, but LAX is stressful. It's always. I mean, last time we were on a shuttle. We're on a shuttle at LAX. Oh, Mike August was, and this is like 3 years ago, and he's just sitting on the shuttle, and he wasn't wearing a mask. And then this old couple who was wearing 2 masks each were like, "Where's your mask?" And he's like, "I'm double vaxxed." And they're like, "You still need a mask?" I'm like, it's so fucking. It's such a fucking. It's so fucking stressful. God, I hope all those COVID people are dead. I hope they are. I hope they are. That we don't need them. We don't need them. Do we need this couple that's double masked yelling at Mike August? I have no idea.
I think I was the first man to get it.
You were?
I think so. I made out with the Chinese chick in about December in 2019. Then I went to an anger management class and coughed in everyone's face. And then just immediately I was the alpha monkey. I spread it to everybody. Patient 0 right here.
Typhoid Larry.
Exactly right.
Really?
Yes.
You made out with the Chinese chick?
Made out with the Chinese, then coughed in everybody's face in a tiny room. And then suddenly the next thing I know, I was down for like 2 weeks with a mystery illness. Then fast forward 28 days later, the whole world's on fire.
You just had COVID for 2 weeks. You thought you had the flu or whatever. You didn't know.
I was like, wow, this is the really bad flu. What is going on?
Was it the taste buds and stuff like that?
Yep, all the symptoms. Yep. And I didn't know what the hell it was. I'd never been sick like that. I figured she gave me something worse than that.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I know.
I don't know if I ever got it. Maybe.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I didn't got the sniffles. Look, I would. The first version of it, pretty raunchy. Like I was down.
Yeah, I heard the first version was tough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. It was bad. No vax to deal with. Yeah, didn't have any.
They didn't even know how to treat anybody.
No. I don't know.
Oh, man, you're lucky because they could have put you on a ventilator, which everyone who got on a ventilator died. Remember how stupid we were? Like, we need to make more ventilators. Like, oh, the thing that is killing people every time you put them on the ventilator? Yeah, we didn't know, Jack.